Foreign direct investment or FDI plays a major role in increasing the country's foreign reserve. However, the government has yet to make concrete efforts to increase FDI. Despite commitments, even foreign investors are hesitating to invest due to complicated procedures. The government has been assuring national prosperity with the increase in FDI. However, policies are yet to be revised and improved, and practical solutions are yet to be identified to increase such investments. Good morning, I am Bipashna Tamang, and these are the headlines of the hour. Price of petrol increases by 2 rupees per litre, diesel and kerosene hiked by 9 rupees per litre. Nepal Oil Corporation advises to implement quota system in sales and adopt odd-even number plate system. Prime Minister Deuba reshuffles cabinet for the sixth time in his term, which is yet to reach 1 year. 3 members of Janata Samajwadi Party in favour of party split. 6 people killed and 24 others injured at an Independence Day parade shooting near the US city of Chicago. 22-year-old suspect arrested. And Nick Kyrgios and world number 2 Rafael Nadal reached the quarterfinals of Wimbledon. Former world number 1 women's player Simona Halep also books a spot in the quarterfinals. The Nepal Oil Corporation has hiked the prices of petroleum products. The corporation increased the price of petrol, diesel, kerosene and aviation fuel to be effective from today. The price of petrol has been increased by 2 rupees per litre, diesel and kerosene have been hiked by 9 rupees per litre, while aviation fuel for domestic flights has been raised by 5 rupees per litre. Petrol will now cost 181 rupees per litre, diesel and kerosene 172 rupees per litre, while the price of aviation fuel has been raised to 190 rupees per litre. The price of cooking gas remains unchanged. Meanwhile, the Nepal Oil Corporation has advised the government to implement the quota system in the sales of petroleum products to two-wheelers and four-wheelers. The corporation has proposed to provide up to 5 litres of petrol to motorcycles and scooters at a time and up to 20 litres of petrol or diesel to four-wheelers. The corporation has also advised the government to implement the odd-even number plate system to lower the consumption of petroleum products. President Bidya Devi Bhandari has reshuffled the Council of Ministers based on the recommendation of Prime Minister Shehbahadur Deuba. Premier Deuba has made some changes in the Council of Ministers as Janata Samajwadi Party, which is at the verge of a split, decided to change 3 of its ministers. Mohammad Ishtiaq Rai, Pradeep Yadav and Mrikendra Kumar Singh Yadav have been appointed as the new ministers. Rai has been shouldered the responsibility of the Ministry of Physical Infrastructure. Yadav has been appointed Minister for Forest, while Singh is the new Minister for Agriculture. The newly appointed ministers are close to Baburam Bhattarai and were in favour of splitting the party. However, after aspirations from party chairperson Upendra Yadav for ministerial responsibilities, they became prepared to proceed with unity. Janata Samajwadi Party had recalled Renu Kumari Yadav from the Ministry of Physical Infrastructure, Mahindra Raya Yadav from the Ministry of Agriculture and Ram Sahaya Yadav from the Ministry of Forest. Meanwhile, Minister for Federal Affairs and General Administration Rajendra Shrestha has not been withdrawn from the cabinet. Prior to this, CPN Unified Socialist, another party of the ruling coalition, had made 5 changes in the cabinet. The internal equation of Janata Samajwadi Party has changed with the reshuffling of the Council of Ministers. However, the move has yet again served as an evidence for power affinity of the ruling coalition. At a time when internal disputes of Janata Samajwadi Party were expanding, party chairperson Upendra Yadav recalled 3 among the 4 ministers from the party and replaced them with new faces. Yadav has strengthened his hold in the party with the support from the 3 new ministers, while the party's Federal Council Chair Baburam Bhattarai's side has become weaker. At a time when the entire nation is gearing up for the provincial and parliamentary elections, Prime Minister Shahbaz Deuba has not prioritized the calls of the Election Commission for setting the date for the polls and has instead focused on fulfilling the interests of Janata Samajwadi to sustain power. Premier Deuba had only recently made similar changes in the Council of Ministers to serve the interests of CPN Unified Socialist. While Prime Minister Deuba has been making changes in the cabinet to address internal issues of the coalition partners, he has paid no interest in replacing disputed ministers. With the Prime Minister prioritizing power, issues of grave nature, including inflation, corruption and financial crisis, are further deepening. With the nearing parliamentary and provincial elections, communist entities have reignited dialogues for unification and creation of a centre for socialism. The decisive political forces for power who have agreed for a coalition in the upcoming election themselves are beginning talks for another alliance. Such a move is being speculated as a strategy to apply pressure on the largest party of the ruling coalition, Nepali Congress. Members of the ruling coalition CPN Maoist Centre, CPN Unified Socialist have restarted discussions about forming one larger centre of communist forces. The move among the four parties of the five in the current coalition, if materializes, will leave Nepali Congress alone as CPN Maoist Centre and CPN Unified Socialist are the decisive forces in the alliance. While the ruling coalition has already spoken of collaborating for the nearing polls, talks about unification of communist forces raised several questions. CPN Unified Socialist, which had split from CPN UML, has floated the idea of collaboration among political entities with similar ideology for the upcoming elections. However, it has not proposed of including the largest communist entity of the parliament, CPN UML, in such a collaboration. The discussion seems to be centered on a possible unification of the Maoist Centre and the Unified Socialist. More than a dozen communist parties of the country regularly present such ideas for unification. However, when such parties reach to power, evidences hint towards political power play leading to splits rather than strengthening the unity. The creation and breakup of the Nepal Communist Party is a major example of the same. While the members of the ruling coalition are alleging Nepali Congress of reaping the highest benefits in the local elections, the talk for unification among communist and socialist forces is also being suspected as a strategy to secure their demands and share of power from the upcoming provincial and parliamentary elections. At a time when the country's foreign reserve is on a decline, the government has not been able to bring in the expected foreign direct investment (FDI). With the objective of increasing investment, two separate summits were also held. However, even the committed amount has not entered the country. Lack of political stability and complicated procedures have appeared as the hurdles. However, the absence of efforts in resolving them has not helped in increasing FDI in Nepal. The government had held two investment summits with the goal of inviting FDI. The commitment for investment from foreign entities has been on an increasing trend in recent time. However, those commitments are yet to materialize. In comparison to the previous fiscal year, the FDI is likely to decrease this fiscal year. While 19.51 billion rupees in FDI entered Nepal last fiscal, the amount until mid-May of the ongoing fiscal year stood at 16.65 billion rupees. Depleting foreign reserve is a major issue at the moment. FDIs play a major role in increasing the foreign reserve. However, even in such a difficult situation, the government is yet to make sound efforts to increase FDI. Despite commitments, even foreign investors are hesitating because of complicated procedures ranging from registration of business and industries to receiving profits. The government has been assuring national prosperity with the increase in FDI. However, policies are yet to be revised and improved, and practical solutions are yet to be identified to increase such investments. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And here's the question, what should be done to bring in foreign investment? The options are option A, improvement in policies, option B, ensuring conducive environment, and option C, development of infrastructures. The voting is on type any W. Select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked people why are athletes leaving the nation and what should be done to put an end to it. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
वर्षमा 6 महिना मात्र कन्ट्र्याक्ट गर्छौं त्यो पनि क्लबहरुले हैन 6 महिनाको पनि प्रपर पैसाहरु दिएको हुँदैन
यही नेपालमै बस्नको लागि राम्रो सुविधा दिन चाहिँ म आग्रह गर्छु सरकारसँग
सिनियर खेलाडीहरुको त्यो दुर्दशा देखेर पनि होला सायद अलि जुनियर भाइहरु एकदम अलर्ट भएर आफ्नो फ्युचर प्रति चाहिँ उनीहरु अलिकति सिरियस र सेक्युर हुने बाटोमा उहाँहरु लाग्नु भयो
मेडल मात्र दिएर हुँदैन प्लेयरलाई अब हल्का पैसा हैन सहयोग गर्नु पर्यो त राम्रो खेल्छस् भनेर ठाउँमा मोटिभेट गर्नु पर्यो
उमेरमा खेल्छ तर अन्तिममा आएर चाहिँ राज्यले केही गर्दैन
रिटायरमेन्ट लाइफ चाहिँ उसको खेलाडीको चाहिँ सुनिश्चितता हुन्छ भने खेलाडी विदेश पलायन हुँदैन जस्तो लाग्छ
रोक्नको लागि चाहिँ अब एन्फाले गभर्नमेन्टले चाहिँ धेरै नै अब सोच्नु पर्छ जस्तो लाग्छ
That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.